I'd like to welcome you to this 25-week journey from stats to stats-free quality control. I hope you'll share this journey and over the next 25 weeks that I can show you some of the things that I've learned that have led me to the conclusion that the only way we're going to make a significant difference in the effectiveness of quality control is to make a difference in how we perform quality control and how we teach it. This webinar series is really an open dialogue on quality control. Every single person is welcome. If you care about quality, there's no invitation, there's no process, there's no application. Just come in, tell us what you think about quality in lab medicine, what we need. I hope as the time goes on we'll have guest panelists, presenters, authors are all welcome. I should make it very clear the comments and thoughts expressed here are my personal opinion. They do not represent that of any other organization or individual. And please, as I always say, somebody stand up and prove me wrong. All the presentations and discussions here will relate quality control practice to patient care, how what we do in the lab impacts what happens to patients. With half an hour a week, we're going to have time to talk about things, think about things. You can submit questions and case studies. I'll be using simulators to illustrate what's going on with QC. I warn you, these sessions will not be free of commercial bias. I am quite openly trying to convince you that there is a better way to do quality control, and by the end of this 25 weeks, I hope you will be convinced that it really is worthwhile making this significant change. I also want to make the point that commercial companies are the ones that serve quality control. I'm hoping they will participate and tell us what they're doing to meet your needs. This is a wonderful opportunity for everybody who cares about quality to come together. So here's the plan for the next few weeks. This is the introduction. We'll be taking, each week will be about a 30-minute presentation followed by 15 minutes of Q&A. They're not going to be terribly formal. They're not going to be terribly well organized. They're going to talk about quality. Next week, we start with if we only knew then what we know now. Oh, wait, we did. Most of the knowledge we're using in quality control today existed 25 years ago. Most of the recommendations on how to do QC properly existed 25 years ago. What we want to examine is why in 25 years have those concepts and recommended practices not been implemented. So every few weeks we're just going to have an open mic dialogue. What do you want to talk about? And you know, this works or it doesn't. It's really up to you. If you participate and spread the word and get people involved, it will go somewhere. What I want to do is I can't expect you over in a 1 hour or 2 hour presentation or even a full day workshop to get the gist of what I've learned over 25 years. So I want to take each week and focus on one little part of it, the knowledge that was learned in that year or at that event. We're going to start with a workshop, Clinical Standards of Quality Control, that I presented with James Westgard in 1991. Before I go further, I want to make it absolutely clear that what I'm saying here is not in any way contradictory to what Westgard or any of the others have been saying. What I'm suggesting is that we implement their sound concepts in a way that is easier and more effective. I owe a great debt of gratitude to Jim Westgard. He invited me down to his lab, talked to me, worked with me, and was just very open about sharing his knowledge. So I am not trying to contradict anybody. I'm just trying to bring it to a place where it will meet the needs of you, the customer. So we're going to move up to 1992. Now we're over 20 years away. At that time, we did an AACC poster using total allowable error to qualify reagents and calibrators. So I was working in a group of 6 labs, and what we were doing at that time, before we put in a new lot of reagents to verify that our calibrators worked, we were checking our total allowable error. By 1993, we were using that to select QC protocols on a real-world basis. And between, 92 and 96, when I left that region, those 6 labs practiced that every single day. And then we're going to bring you up to the Great Bias Study of 1994. There's a lot of shocking information that I've come across in here.